Chapter 1. A real patient story. At first, she looked like encephalitis. Later, she looked like autism. But the real problem was a breakdown in thiamine metabolism. Scene 1. She did not slowly start to seem different. It was sudden, as if someone had flipped a switch. This little girl had been developing normally. She was born premature at 35 weeks. Then, at age 2, she suddenly developed an encephalopathy-like episode. She also had seizures. At the time, there was no clear trigger. Her MRI showed abnormal signals in areas including the bilateral white matter and the caudate nuclei, but her lumbar puncture did not show any clear abnormalities. So at that point, doctors diagnosed her with acute disseminated encephalomyelitis, or ADEM. She was then treated with 5 days of intravenous methylprednisolone. She improved. The seizures stopped. 7 days later, she seemed to be back to her original neurocognitive baseline. And when MRI was repeated 6 months later, those earlier abnormalities had faded. At the time, anyone would have thought this looked like an inflammatory storm that had already passed. Scene 2. What truly frightened her family was not that hospital stay. It was what came after. After she went home, it was as if she never fully came back. Over time, her parents began to notice that her development was slowing down. Compared with other children her age, she was struggling more and more. By age 3, she was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder, or ASD. If the story ended there, it would have sounded like a familiar explanation. After encephalitis, the child fell behind, and later she was seen as autistic. But that is not where her story ended. Scene 3. She was not always like that. She would regress every time she got sick, and when she regressed, it would last for 2 to 3 weeks. Her family noticed that whenever she became ill, or after vaccination, she would clearly decline. And that decline often lasted 2 to 3 weeks. Only after that would she slowly make it back to something close to her usual self. That pattern, recurrent, fluctuating, coming and going like the tide, was already quietly telling